Mason, welcome back to Be With Mason, and today we are continuing The Owl Who Was Afraid of the Dark by Jill Tomlinson. Dark is fascinating. Plop, having slept nearly all day, was very lively that evening. Very lively and very hungry. He kept wobbling along the branch to see where his father was, roosting to see if he was awake and ready to go hunting. Mr. Barn Owl was drawn up tall and tall. He seemed hardly to be breathing. Plop stretched up on a tiptoe and tried to see his father's face. What a strong curved beak he had. "Daddy, are you awake?" he said loudly. "I'm hungry." Mr. Barn Owl did not open his eyes. The beak moved. "Go away," it said. "I am asleep." Plop went away immediately and then realized something and went back to sleeping and went back again. "Daddy, you can't be asleep. You spoke. I heard you." "You must have imagined it," said his father, still not opening his eyes. "Is it imagination or is it not? Or is it actually real?" "You spoke," said Plop. "You're awake, so you can go hunting." He butted his father's tummy with his head. "Come on, it's getting up time." Mr. Barn Owl sighed and stretched. All right, you horrible outlet. What time is it?" He looked up the sky. "Suffering bats! It isn't even dark yet. I could have gone another half hour." He glared at Pop. "Dash it, I'm going to have another half hour. I will not be bullied by little adult little birdie bird. Double away! You may wake me up when it's dark and not before. You understand?" He suddenly leaned forward. His huge beak was level with Plop's own little carpet tag. Plop could see two of himself reflected in his father's eyes. Yes, Daddy," he said, backing away hurriedly. "Good," said his father, drawing himself up to sleep again. "Good day." Plop went back to the nest hole to complain to his mother. A sleepy Miss Barn Owl listened sympathetically. "Well, dear, I should go out and find some more about the world if I were you," she said. "Look, there's a young lady down there. Why don't you go and talk to her?" Plop peered down the leaves. Standing a little way from the tree was something wearing black, shiny boots, a bright red fur coat with a matching hair, and what looked like a white beard. "That's not a young lady. That's Father Christmas!" shrieked Plop. And he fell off his branch in such a hurry he forgot to shut his eyes or take a deep breath. Total concentration breathing. He landed quite well, considering, but he lost his balance at the last moment and toppled onto his face. A gentle hand picked him up and set him right up again. "Oh, you poor darling," said a young, sweet voice. "Are you all right?" Plop looked up quickly. That voice didn't sound right. It wasn't a white beard. It was long, blonde hair. "You're not Father Christmas at all," he said crossly, "and I came down specially." "I'm terribly sorry," said the young lady, "and I'm not a darling. I'm a barn owl." "I'll tell you what," the Father Christmas lady said. "May I draw a picture of you in my nature sketchbook? I haven't got a barn owl in it." "Me?" said Plop. "You mean really? Me?" "Yes, please. Perhaps you can pose on that low branch for me." Plop fluttered up to the branch and stood stiffly to attention. The Father Christmas lady sat on a log and began to draw. "I always carry my sketchbook about with me in case I see something interesting," she said. The interesting barn owl drew himself up proudly like a soldier in a sentry box, but not for long. The lady looked up for her drawing to say that the barn owl has completely disappeared. "Can I see?" said a small Plop down by her boot. Plop was jiggling up and down to see what was on the pad. "There's not much to see yet," she said, "but all right, you can look." Plop looked. "I'm not bold like that," he said indignantly. "I haven't had time to see you properly dressed," said the young lady. "And you've only given me one leg. I'm afraid a bold, one-legged barn owl is all there is unless you're going to keep still." Plop tried really hard after that, and he only got down 3 or 4 times to see what was going on. He could hardly believe his eyes when he was finished. "Is that really me?" he said. "I look just like Daddy." "Well, almost." "Yes, that's really you," she said. I keep one end of the book from animals and birds that come out in the daytime, and the other for night creatures. I put you with them, of course." "Oh," said Plop. Of course. All the most interesting ones are your end." And the young lady went on, "I think dark is fascinating." Tell me about it," said Plop. But it was too late now to tell her that she had got him in the wrong end of the book. "Hop up then," said the young lady, holding a finger and taking Plop on her lap. "I'll show you what good company you are in. Look, here are some feathers." Plop looked at the big black and white animals with stripes down their noses. "Funny faces they got." "That's so they don't bump each other into the dark," explained the young lady. "They can't see very well." She turned over this page. "Ah, I think these are the fascinating creatures of the night. Creatures of all. Bats." "You got it wrong," said Plop. Father Christmas lady laughed. "No, I haven't. That's how bats like to be when they're fluttering about, hanging upside down by their feet." "Go on," said Plop. "Yes, really. And do you know, if you were a baby bat, your mother would take you wherever she went, cling to her fur. You get lots of rides." That seems to be Plop's dream. Let's see what he says about that. "Oh, I'd like that," Plop said. "Yes, but when you get too big to be carried, do you know what your mother would do? She'd hang you up before she went out." "Hang me up," said Plop. "Upside down?" "That's right. Now let me see what else we can find." She turned a few pages. "Oh, yes, here we are." Oh, Plop was not with her. He was rocking backwards and forwards on a low branch like one of those little wobbly men that you push. Every now and then he went a bit too far and had to waggle his wings to keep his balance. "What are you doing?" the young lady asked. "I'm trying to be a bat," said Plop. "But I don't understand is how they begin. I can't get upside down. Perhaps it'll be easier to be a hedgehog," said the lady. "When they're frightened, they roll themselves up into a ball. Look, here's a picture of one." Plop hopped back onto her knee and inspected the hedgehog. "The feathers could do a bit of fluffing up," he said. "Those aren't feathers. They're prickles. Very useful they are. A hedgehog can jump off a quite high fence without hurting himself because he makes himself bounce into a prickly ball and just bounces." "Very useful," said Plop. "I wish I had prickles." He jumped off her lap and tried to roll himself into a ball. It was very difficult. "I don't seem to have enough bends," he said. Suddenly he stopped rolling about and stayed still, listening. Then he rushed back to the young lady's lap and tried to bury himself in her coat. "What's the matter?" she said. Here you can see Plop and the young lady having a nice conversation and Plop sitting in her lap. Pretty cute. "There's a funny noise," he said. "Over there." The young lady listened. There was a rustling sound coming from the dry leaves under the big tree. "Why, did I do believe? It's a hedgehog, she said. Yes, here he is, look! Plop peeped cautiously over the edge of her lap. The tiny pointed snout pushed its way through the leaves, and then a small round creature scuttled across the garden in front of them. They never bothered to move quietly, the young lady whispered, because they know nobody wants to eat anything so prickly. Is he sure? I'm so hungry I can eat anything, said Plop. The hedgehog stopped dead and rolled himself in a tight little ball. He must have heard you, the young lady said reproachfully. What a thing to say. Well, it's true, said Plop. I'm starving. Oh, of course. You'll be hunting with your parents now it's getting dark, won't you? I was forgetting you're a night bird. The night bird looked down at its toes. Well, I won't keep you, she went on. Except, would you mind doing something for me before you go? I'd like to hear you screech. Plop didn't mind at all. He stuck out his chest and gave the most enormous, wait for it, he could possibly manage. Gorgeous, said the young lady. Plop bubbled his funny little bow. Then he took off and circled round, king for the rest of all he was worth. The young lady waved, and then with one final of farewell, Plop flew up to the landing branch. Well, said his mother, the Father Christmas lady, you were right, it was a lady, says dark is fascinating. And what do you think, Plop? I still do not like it at all. Even after all those conventions, Plop still does not like dark. What can change his mind? The lady drew a picture of me. Well, that's pretty special, isn't it? Nobody has ever put me in a picture. And she says my screech is gorgeous. Does she? Does she? I wonder what all that noise was about. Where's Daddy? Out hunting. Oh, jolly good. I could eat a hedgehog. I wouldn't recommend it, said his mother. We are going to stop there. Thank you so much for listening to me read The Owl Who Was Afraid of the Dark by Jill Tomlinson to you. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. And if you're not subscribed, make sure to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button. Anyway, I'll see you next week. So we'll have even more fun. And this week is a rest. So you can just rest, relax, and just sleep.